Alors, le projet La nourriture sans frontières, c'est un projet de film avec la classe de 6e C pour parler de nourriture, pour parler de vivre ensemble, de partage autour d'un plat, de souvenirs culinaires.
Nous avons immédiatement été séduits par ce projet, par la qualité de réflexion qui a présidé à l'élaboration du projet et également par cette notion de vivre ensemble qui est au cœur de votre projet et qui est au cœur de notre école aussi.
Food Without Borders is a collaboration between Maurice Revel Junior High, Filmmakers Without Borders, and the Civic Media Lab, which is part of the American University of Paris.
I am the director of the Civic Media Lab, which is a space funded by the Mellon Foundation to create projects which deal with civic life, engaging our students and graduates to work on various issues related to encouraging and developing civic life using media.
Et l'objectif, c'était de faire parler les élèves de leur identité à travers la nourriture, un plat culinaire, et de les initier à des techniques de film.
L'atelier dont je garde le meilleur souvenir, c'est le premier, quand les élèves se sont présentés et qu'ils ont rencontré les étudiants de l'université. C'était vraiment chaleureux. Et leur joie aussi quand ils ont découvert les caméras la première fois et qu'ils ont commencé à les utiliser, c'était bien de les voir aussi heureux en fait.
In the first individual sessions we had with the Anglophones and the Francophones separately, I really enjoyed watching them engage when it came to the concept of vivre ensemble.
So the idea in that first workshop that we did was to get the kids to be thinking about food as a connector. Food is something that connected them to family, to friends, to places, to emotions. So we did a series of exercises there where we got them thinking in that direction. Of course, the teachers at Revel also carried out an impressive amount of assignments with them, writing recipes, reading stories, where they were also getting them to be thinking or moving in that same direction.
We really got to work like one-on-one with the kids, and we had time to interact with them before, but this was really like our chance to be like really hands-on with them, spend a lot of time with them, but also let the kids talk, which I found really refreshing.
Because I think this is where we lay the foundations of our work, and we talked about vivre ensemble and on differences.
On avait choisi un plat sur une feuille par rapport à nos origines, à ce qu'il évoquait pour nous, à des souvenirs.
You tell a story about your food that has meaning for you. You're opening a window into your life. It can be emotional because it has so many memories attached to it.
Comme ça, les autres personnes, ils peuvent savoir ce qu'on ressent quand on mange ce plat en particulier. Et ils peuvent un petit peu savoir ce qu'on a vécu dans notre vie, en quelque sorte. Et les moments où on a été heureux et quelques moments où on était plutôt triste.
And they also learned about filming techniques.
And we have been filming, knowing more on each other. We have been learning on angles with the camera, how to hold the camera.
One of the first things we did is we learned about camera angles and camera movements, so we would make a basic vocabulary of filmmaking terms that they could reference throughout the additional workshops.
Moi, j'ai préféré les ateliers où on apprenait à manier la caméra, les angles, parce que c'était plutôt drôle, tout le monde participait.
Quand je les voyais tous ensemble, très concentrés, faire les gestes, répéter, sans se poser de questions, tous ensemble en même temps.
The kids got to be more technical, you know, with the equipment, with the little cameras that we gave them. We taught them how to film.
Plus, it gets them involved in media. It makes them feel valuable because this project is being recorded. They themselves are learning how to do media.
J'aime bien dessiner et quand vous avez dit qu'on devait faire aussi les full shot, tout ça, j'aime bien faire ça aussi.
In the second workshop, I wanted to introduce students to the art of the ethnographic interview. And the ethnographic interview is always interested in gathering the worldview of the other.
So I've learned that interviews are harder to do than I thought. much harder.
The way I expressed this to the students in class was that they needed to build bridges and not walls with their interviews. And so we reviewed a series of very basic techniques that go with ethnographic interviewing, such as asking open-ended questions, listening attentively and actively, not expressing judgment of the others.
At one moment they did some skits, and that showed sometimes what we should not do, what we should do. When we film with the other person, we should not do like emotions of disgust.
So in the second workshop, not only did we cover interviews, but we also discussed B-roll and how students shoot supplementary footage to their own interview questions that they would be answering in the third workshop.
And Beth asked them, what are some examples of B-roll that you could do to evoke the likeness of someone who has either passed away or who doesn't live in your geographic proximity? So how do you articulate someone or something that you can't literally film? The kids were just so imaginative, and you could see how excited they were getting. They kind of sort of mixed each other's ideas together. The energy just kept moving up and up and up.
So the most impactful moment of the whole experience would be the last workshop, where the OIB kids and the non-OIB kids got to meet to do the project, how they basically had to interview each other and talk about, you know, their favorite food.
So we had to find a group name, a mascot, and a handshake with our French partner and our mentor. Our secret handshake, well, I won't do it now because we fall, but we don't get hurt.
And then we interview our friends. Then we bring the cameras home to the B-rolls.
Mais elle nous a prêté des petites caméras à peu près grandes comme ça.
My favorite part was the B-rolls because I had a good excuse to eat my favorite food.
Et il me semble qu'en racontant leurs histoires, en racontant leurs souvenirs, ils se rendent compte qu'ils vivent les mêmes choses, qu'ils vivent les mêmes sentiments et qu'ils peuvent partager à travers leurs histoires et apprendre à comprendre.
To learn different cultures, to learn a bit more about the others and different families, foods. Parce que c'est des histoires qui viennent de ma famille et c'est important pour moi de les raconter, de les partager.
The power of food is that everyone has to eat and everyone loves to eat, and so I think that's one of the most simplest forms, to sit down at a table and share a meal.
Well, to know each other, to learn about things and not be like in a bubble.
Well, if you keep a story hidden, you're keeping back a little bit of yourself, so it's best to show it to the world.
It shows us a side of things that can really resonate with our own history. I feel like most of the kids, when they see the film, they're gonna see like, oh, in my house we do the same thing, or oh, we eat that sometimes.
Donc je pense que tout le monde a un lien très fort avec la nourriture en fait, et le plaisir, les sensations, l'odeur, le goût, la vue d'un plat, les couleurs, tout le monde a des sensations associées à la nourriture.
I will remember all the good moments when we were doing this. All the people, all the students, everything we did. And I will say, wow, it was amazing.